Hey, it's Bruce from IT. Welcome aboard the bus. In today's TED Ed, we're going to be learning about internal buses. There are multiple types of buses we are going to be learning about, which include the system bus, memory bus, expansion bus, and the I/O bus. To start off, we have the system bus, which is the primary bus in a computer system and is responsible for connecting the CPU to the memory subsystem and other vital components, such as the DMA, the direct memory access controller, or the interrupt controller. The system bus typically comprises of several sub-buses, including the data bus, address bus, and control buses. Next up, we have the memory bus. The memory bus is an internal bus that connects the CPU to the primary memory subsystem. The memory bus transfers data and instructions between the CPU and the memory and is typically designed to operate at high speeds to ensure efficient memory access. Moving on, we have the expansion bus, which is an internal bus that connects the CPU to peripheral devices such as input and output devices, expansion cards, and other peripherals. The expansion bus is typically slower than the system and memory buses, but operates at lower frequencies. In summary, internal buses are the communication pathways that connect various components of a computer and allow them to exchange data and instructions. Different types of internal buses have other characteristics and are optimized for specific types of data transfer, depending on the system needs. The concept of internal buses in computer systems was developed in the early days of computing, when the first electronic computers were designed, around the 1940s and 50s, I'd say. Creating the first internal buses was a collaborative effort among engineers and computer scientists. It isn't easy to attribute the invention of the internal buses to a single individual. However, there are some key figures in developing internal buses. That would include John van Neumann, who proposed storing instructions and data in the same memory unit as J. Forrester, who created the first random access magnetic core memory, which became a crucial component in early computer systems. In terms of specific internal buses, the system bus, memory bus, and I/O bus were developed as part of the development of early computer systems. There are so many inventors associated with these concepts, but overall, the concept of internal buses has evolved as the computer systems have become more complex. Different types of internal buses has been developed to meet the specific needs of computer systems and applications. Now on to what their functions are in computers. Firstly, we can see that the CPU can have back and forth contact with the control bus and data bus, but not the address bus. Why might that be, you might ask? It's because the control bus and data bus require data to go back and forth and instructions to go back and forth from the CPU and to the RAM. But with the address bus, it is a one-way street, as its only purpose is to identify the address of the location in cache or main memory that is read or written to. You can even see the same thing happening from all the buses and the memory. Finally, the input and output bus needs two-way connections between all of the buses. This is because your input and out devices that you connect, like your mouse or your keyboard, needs to interact with your whole computer, otherwise certain functions wouldn't be able to run. While internal buses have been a critical component of computer systems for many years, there are still some areas for improvement and drawbacks associated with their use. Here are a few potential disadvantages and areas for improvement. Firstly, bandwidth limitations. One of the primary drawbacks of internal buses is that they can be limited in bandwidth, particularly when compared to external interfaces, such as a USB or Thunderbolt. This can lead to performance bottlenecks when transferring large amounts of data, meaning that it might be limited to just transfer data slower. Secondly, latency. Internal buses can also suffer latency issues, particularly when accessing memory or the I/O devices. This can cause delays in data transfer and slow down the system's overall performance, which we all know we want our system running super fast, as when I'm uploading this video, I already know I'm about to experience a delay. Third, interference and noise. Because internal buses are located inside the computer, they are susceptible to interference and noise from other components, such as the power supplies and fans. This can cause errors, data corruption, particularly in high-speed data transfer scenarios. Lastly, there can be compatibility issues, as internal buses are designed to work with specific components and architectures, and their compatibility issues when using different parts or upgrading the system can cause errors. This means when you want to change out a part that may get old, your buses may prevent you from doing so. To address these various issues and improve the performance of internal buses, several advancements have been made over the years. This includes improvements in bus design, faster and more efficient data transfer protocols, and the development of new technologies such as cache coherency and the DMA, direct memory access controllers. Additionally, processor and memory technology advances and have helped alleviate some of the bandwidth and latency issues associated with internal buses. But this is going to be an ever-growing industry, and internal buses will continue to improve over the years.